Assalamu alaikum and welcome back to my channel. Today's recipe is Gosht Pulao. Now I will be telling you guys the ingredients as we go. The first step you're going to do is you're going to put around 2 tablespoons of oil, and the reason why I don't measure it out over here because I just throw in as much oil as I need. And you're going to fry up a onion, sliced onion, until it becomes amber color. Then the ingredients you'll be needing is garam masala, ground coriander, cloves, hot chili flakes, black pepper, some cumin seeds, bay leaf, salt, of course, and some ginger powder. We'll also be needing green cardamom. You will not be needing the big cardamom in here, although it is an option, you can use it. You're going to take 2 green cardamoms, a teaspoon of the rest of the ingredients except for cloves. Cloves you'll be using around 10 cloves, a half teaspoon of black pepper. The rest of the ingredients you'll be using around a teaspoon each. Once your onions are nice and gold, you're going to throw in around 1 medium-sized tomato chopped. Cook that in until it's nice and soft, while you also add in your ginger. So if you have the garlic, if you have garlic paste, then you'll be using around 1 teaspoon of garlic paste. But if you have garlic cloves, you will use around 3 garlic cloves. Then 1 teaspoon of ginger powder. Once you have that in, you throw in your gosht. You could use beef pieces, you could use lamb pieces. Over here I am using beef. I do, as you can see, there is 1 big piece of bone in there. The reason why I have the bone in there is because once I do leave it to cook, the bone is going to let out its own juice and it will give the pulao a different flavor. Once you sear the meat a little bit, you're going to put in the rest of your seasonings. And then you're going to put in around, you're going to let it cook for a few minutes, and then you're going to put in around 2.5 cups of water. Now there's 2 ways of doing this. If you are using beef usually takes a little bit longer to soften, so you should put it in a pressure cooker and cook it for 30 minutes. If you don't mind waiting, then you could let this cook on medium high heat for around 2 hours until it's nice and soft. I put around 1 teaspoon of garam masala before I start letting it boil. Now as you can see, I'm not using a pressure cooker, so I did let it sit for a good amount of time. Since I was letting it slow cook by itself, I did add a little bit extra water. But if you are using a pressure cooker, there is no need to add the extra water. I'll throw it into the pressure cooker and let it cook for 30 minutes. As you can see, my meat was still a little hard than I wanted it to, so I did end up cooking it for another 2 hours. Just slow cooking it, that's why. I did have the time and I wasn't in any hurry, so I did let it slow cook. Once your meat is to the desired softness, so you don't want your meat to be so soft that you just touch it and it breaks, it like disintegrates in your hand. You don't want it that soft, but you do want it soft enough that you could hold it in your hand and kind of like rub it till it turns into mush. So after a while of cooking, I did get that nice soft meat. So I turned up the heat and started letting the water boil. When the water started to boil, that's when you put in your rice. Since I was only making 2 cups of rice here, I had my rice soaking from beforehand. You put your rice in and you let the rice boil for a little bit until you see that most of the water has been saturated into the rice. And then after that, you are going to let it steam. Now, if you are using an electric stove, the sieving process is actually really easy. What you do is you let it steam on low for around 5 minutes, and then you let it stay covered on your electric stove for another 5 to 10 minutes, and it does the steaming for you. If you are using a gas stove, then I recommend you steam it on a low heat for around 10 to 15 minutes before taking it off of the flame and mixing it around. So once your rice is nicely steamed, make sure to break it apart while it's still hot, or else afterwards you'll have just clumpy pieces of rice. Some people do enjoy that, but not everybody enjoys that. If you like this recipe, make sure to give this video a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and stay tuned for more videos just like this.